Hello, everyone. As part of the Montana Dietetic Internship Sustainable Food Systems Rotation, Group 2, Professional Development Assignment, we will be discussing interprofessional education and collaboration in healthcare. Interprofessional education is when students from one or more profession come together to learn about each other's profession, learn from each other, and learn with each other. The goal of interprofessional education is to be able to work well as a team when we become professionals. This teamwork enables us to have effective parallel collaboration with our respective fields to deliver safe and highest quality of care for the patient. An example of interprofessional practice and collaboration would be a doctor, a nurse, physical therapist, dietitian, occupational therapist, and pharmacist collaborating to carry out an individualized care plan in order to improve the patient's health status. The desired end result is improved quality of care and patient health outcomes due to the development of interprofessional teams that work effectively in unison. Interprofessional collaboration is when professionals from several different practices work as partners with each other and the patient through concerted efforts and shared decision yielding top-notch care. Interprofessional collaboration is a process of communication and decision-making, enabling a synergistic influence of group knowledge and skills from each profession. Elements of collaborative practice are accountability, assertiveness, autonomy, communication, coordination, cooperation, and mutual trust and respect. Interprofessional collaborative practice provides practitioners and patients benefits, and it is the goal of healthcare organizations. The basic assumptions of interprofessional teams are the process, what is done and how it is done, formation and conduct, the democracy of talents. You have a bunch of different professions that each have their own skills and techniques and ways to go about their care, which you have to balance the priorities and have a diverse set of contributions so you can be a full range of spectrum of care. Third, there are no absolute arbiters, meaning that not one profession leads and dictates everything. Um, and then that main thing is that it's patient centered. So if we decide on something and the patient's not involved, they're not most likely not going to go along with it. So the patient needs to be able to dictate what care is going to work best for them, and we need to meet them where they're at. The last assumption is the synergistic teaching and learning that happens within the interprofessional team. Teamwork is a democratically oriented consensus among professions that embodies neither extreme. We have the spectrum on the bottom. You have the virtue in the middle with the two vices of excess in each. The one on the right, the perfect unison, is near impossible with many different professions with different scopes and ideologies on how to proceed with care. Perfect unison would mean all thinking the same, groupthink or lickspittles, following one supreme commander, never standing in their own profession, which is narrow-minded, limited, and subpar care. Whereas on the other side, the left side vice, we have unbridled of the spectrum. We have unbridled conflict, which we'll never agree on how to proceed with care, and the patient will be getting conflicting advice. The virtue in the middle of the spectrum is the goal, which is each profession discussing the many different options, coming to a mutually agreed upon arrangement of care, with the patient at the center deciding what works best for them. Continuing with the interprofessional team, we have the combined headings. Under the first, we are defining and redefining our roles. Each profession finds its own unique place, role, and function within the team. We secure our identity and stay within our paint. Challenges are welcomed as it is an opportunity to grow and develop. Under the second, we are influenced by our environmental context. Policies, procedures build framework that influences the interprofessional teams. Organizations, to cities, to county, to state, to national policies dictate the parameters in which we operate. Under the third, we have close communication and we're timely with our conflict resolution, avoiding overemphasis on autonomy and specialization, as it can lead to acting alone without reference, professional ethnocentrism, and overestimation of the value of their own professional perspective. Problems that acquire sound communications and conflict resolution are role ambiguity, so expectations are not clearly defined, role conflict, incompatible expectations, and role overload, inability to meet multiple expectations. We have to have scheduled interprofessional meetings to clear the air. Under the fourth, we have role overlap, which can be a source of conflict. We have to avoid groupthink again as the team closes off from outside influences. Under the fifth, we have negotiated sets of social relationships and minimum of rules. A division of labor with assigned tasks, areas of overlap, responsibilities negotiated and are shared, patients are engaged in bargaining. In fact, they are as much the chief actors as the professionals themselves. Strategies of least contest, collaborative process to bargaining, negotiation to content and or conflict strategies to make larger environment more responsive to their needs. Under the sixth, we have processing, activity of gaining perspective, social peripheral vision, give and take feedback, and we have the periodic formalized evaluations. So all of these just kind of help to get the interprofessional team to work best together. If there are any questions, please refer to the references as we don't really have the time to go over it all in detail. This is a figure of the patient-centered care with the interprofessional team. That reference 7 is just for all the team members of the interprofessional team, but this is something that I developed how I envision the interprofessional team with the patient in the center, and then being that there's no absolute arbiters, we're all on equal playing fields. So we have the doctor, the nurse, the registered dietitian, physical therapist, occupational therapy, pharmacy, and in continuation, respiratory therapists, psychiatrists, psychologists, medical specialists, community partners, dentists, neurologists, surgeons, speech and language pathologists, therapists, and other members of the clinical interprofessional team, also others that are not mentioned. And then we also have our non-clinical and support staff, such as social services, insurance billing, attorneys, accountants, financial advisors, as well as the interpersonal teams, meaning friends, family, neighborhood, religious leaders, and providers all kind of come together to help the patient with the centered care. No man is an island, or woman is an island, and we do need the support of our community, being clinical, non-clinical, and the support as well, and then our interprofessional and interpersonal teams as well. Core competencies. I feel the Sunnybrook is a more updated version. The Interprofessional Education Collaborative, they didn't have RDs or other professions in the expert panel, so I believe it's a little close-minded and outside of the full interprofessional team scope. Dietitian's role in the interprofessional team is mainly to prevent, treat, manage, and improve individual and community health through diet and diet changes. The RDN are the only ones that can actually do the medical nutrition therapy, and the contributions of the RDN is being the expert in nutrition and food, and they are a vital component as well as every other member of the team, of the interprofessional team. So you can pause your video and read these. I got some other quotes as well. The dietitian's role is often overlooked, forgotten, and improperly assumed by professions without proper training in dietetics. According to Sharam and Cressy, 2022, the most knowledgeable member of the interprofessional healthcare team with respect to identification of malnutrition, macro and micronutrient requirements, and the type of nutrition support indicated is RD. It is impossible to provide optimal care to critically ill patients without the participation of dietitians. And RD also plays another role with highlighting the food as medicine, which is the importance of food and nutrition with preventing and treating disease and sustaining health. With two assignments, the professional development and the farm to clinician culinary medicine program assignments, um, the students from the school and nursing and medical students participate by watching our videos, assuming they have assignments with what they're doing on their end. And then we also come together to do culinary cooking nights. We introduce food as medicine, sustainable food systems, farm to fork, and other topics for future professionals. And with those nights, when we prepare recipes, We have a specific focus. Ours for the Sustainable Food System Group 2, we did gut health. And then we also enjoy the meal as we're preparing it and enjoy it after. And then we have meaningful discussions as well. And then we are one of three sustainable food systems groups. So there are many different topics discussed as each sustainable food system group has their own unique topics. I mean, the basics of nutrition is good for the professionals themselves, but more importantly, I believe it's realizing the breadth and depth of the subject, which will make them more likely to refer patients to RDs instead of just making generalized assumptive statements, as RDs are the trained professionals and learn about the inner workings, as do other professions as well. But I believe that dietetics are have that scope in mind. And the health and nutrition are closely intertwined. And then additionally, this program can further be developed by having other medical professional students prepare educational videos for the DI students to learn from in true interprofessional education fashion, as right now, currently, it's just the RDs, soon to be, educating the other professions. But I would personally be interested in hearing what the medical students have to say, and as well as the other nursing and other different healthcare professionals as well. Here we have our references. Please peruse over them. There's a lot of detailed, great information, and thank you very much for your time and attention. Take care.